What's poppin', people? Welcome back to Say Less with Kaz and Lowkey.
What up, though?
On Whistle Sports and Brother. My name is Kaz.
Yeah.
This is Lowkey.
How you doing?
Matt on the cam.
Right.
Jeff back here.
Okay.
Miss Jasmine in the back taking flicks and getting
Telling
the
bad
hot takes off.
Telling bad jokes and shit.
Telling terrible jokes. Oh, we got a guest today too.
We got our first guest?
We got our first guest. Well, your first guest.
My first guest.
Second guest, really.
Yes.
Second
yeah.
guest.
Corey was
But
first
yes,
and then
Corey was first, then
now
you.
Okay.
We got Tisha Alyn in the building. What's up, Tisha? Waving all the way. From, you in Cali right now?
I'm in Cali right now. I'm in SoCal right now.
Oh, shit. Well, welcome to Say Less. Welcome to the Lions Den
Yes.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. We got so much to talk about, but before we get into all of that, I saw a bunch of your content. I mean, obviously, we've been quarantined up for the past, I don't know, like 5 months.
Yeah.
Since February, March-ish,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And I saw a bunch of your viral videos with Truly doing the golf challenges and all this stuff. And like, it's super dope. And I'm not the biggest golf fan, but what I am a fan of is stuff that goes viral and stuff that I know I can't do for a living. So one thing I want to ask you, there's a video of you bouncing a bunch of golf balls in between Truly cans into a cup. Like, first off, how do you figure out that you can even do that type of stuff? Like, what goes through your mind when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna show off golf in a different space for people? I feel like a lot of people see golf and they're like, oh, it's slow and it's boring and it's a very old boys type of sport. But you make it like very, now you make it very millennial for people. So how do you come up with that sort of content when it comes to your
Well,
your
firstly,
Instagram?
thank you for that's literally like the whole point of my page. Like, I want people to come to my page and see that golf is cool, golf can be young, golf is happening now, it's growing. So that comment means a lot for sure. And when it comes to the tricks, it's honestly, I come up with it on the spot most of the time. Like, I'll literally wake up and I'll just discuss it with like a couple friends or whatever, and I'll just be like, you know what, I think I could do this today. You know what happens if I try and do this and this? And I never know if I can do it until I literally get it. Like, for the most part, if I can physically imagine myself do it in my mind, I can usually execute it. But if there are times when I'm like, dang, that video I saw looks really cool. What if I play off of it and make it golfy like this? And I'm like, but shoot, I can't imagine myself doing this kick. I can't do this. And I'm like, okay, I can't come into the mindset thinking I'm not capable. So if I can think about it in my head, then I'm like, all right, we could do this. But that specific trick, I didn't think that it was honestly as big of a deal as it turned out to be. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought like, all right, we're gonna make it bounce 9 times.
She said it's light work, by the way. She's like, oh,
That's what I'm getting.
this is easy work. Like, you don't need to. Let me fall back. My bad.
It just didn't seem like that big to me at the time, because it's not really taking a lot of physical ability, right? It's just like, it's just tries basically. And when I actually got it in maybe 3 or 4 times, but not every time it bounced in between, or it didn't always bounce 9 times.
Right.
So when I got it, I was like, okay, well, I'll throw it up. I'll put it in the archives. I'll throw it up later. And then that one ended up doing way better than the original Truly trick that I did. So yeah, that was pretty cool. It just worked out.
So what drew you to golf in the
Yeah,
beginning?
I was about to ask you, like, what was your inspiration to be a golfer? Like, what was the drawing? What was the entry point? Was it family-oriented, friends, like high school? Like, where was your love developed?
It was definitely family. I honestly don't know life without golf. So I started golf at 3 years old. So I can't even recall a memory without a club in my hand. And my dad was just a big sports guy. He was actually really in love with tennis at the time. And he just caught the golf bug. And like, I don't know if you ever heard anyone talk about catching the golf bug, but it just becomes like an addiction, basically. And so he caught it when I was very young, and he was a stay-at-home dad at the time. So he would always go to the range and he would just bring me with him. I had like a plastic set of clubs, and I would just try and go at it here and there. And then eventually I actually started like hitting every time with him. And then he'd take me to the park sometimes, and he'd have me hit from base to base on like a baseball field, because I could only hit it like 20 yards or something like that, 30 yards. It wasn't a big deal. Like, if I miss a shot, I'm not going to hurt anybody. I was like tiny. I was really tiny. And then at 7, I started competing. He entered me into the first tournament he could find. There really wasn't much girls playing, let alone at that age. I was really young. I was 7, and I ended up entering into a tournament. I think it was like a 8 to 10 division, and like I'm small, so like these girls were way bigger than me, as is. And then from there, I just kept going. Like the moment I started competing, we just kept going with it. I came last in my first tournament, and I was like, no, I can't feel
But
this.
you still had the bug though. Like it feels
is
like
still there, right?
it feels like a game where like even if like you're not like charting or like ranked like first or whatever, like it's one of the rare individual sports you can just play by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you can't like box by yourself, you can't like play tennis by yourself. But golf, all you need is the links, a field, some cups or wherever, and you're good to go. So
Yes, absolutely.
so I would like to, I mean, I saw a couple of your videos and like you've got a lot of fans, one of them being Phil Mickelson, and you know, that was really cool. Like, how was that like? I mean, I know he's one of the GOATs. Like that had to be a big step for you.
Yeah, that was huge. So, like, it's very different. Like, so I did play professionally. So I know what it's like, to be out there. I didn't play professionally long, but I created those friendships along the way. So being friends with the girls on tour, it seems very like they're my friends. I don't think of them like, oh my gosh, that's
Right.
this person and this person, but the men's tour, it's kind of it's just a different stepping stool. Like the men's tour is still, pretty much more in the spotlight at the moment. It's getting better. And as my following started growing, a few PGA tour players would kind of, take a liking to my videos. They'd see I'd be doing something different. I'm trying to bring in a different edge. And like to be honest, like if you're playing professionally, it's really hard to mix both worlds. Like
Right.
you won't see a professional golfer really try and do trick shots because golf takes so much time. Like you can practice for 8 to 9 hours a day. You're not getting tackled. As long as you can sit under the sun, you can train. As long as you can hit golf balls, you're good. So anyways, Phil Mickelson was one of the cool people that I've obviously met through golf, and he messaged me a few times just through Instagram and was like, "Yo, that was really cool what you did there. I really like the approach that you bring to the game." And I was like, "Thank you." I don't even know if I'm actually talking to Phil. I just thought maybe I'm like, I could just be talking to him.
But the video was the proof, because you never know. There's like social media managers, people just like in charge of it. Like you never really know it's the person that you think is behind the avatar. But then we saw the video and she was like, yo, your videos are really dope. You know what I mean? So that had to be like such a stamp of approval.
Yeah, that was definitely like shell shock. I'm trying to keep my cool in the moment. But when he approached me in that video, it was in the middle of a major. Players don't just go up to the side. Like if you're in the zone at a major, they're not just gonna sign an autograph or come up to you and just like sideline to go out of their way.
Yeah.
He's playing on like the second day of the tournament, middle of the round. He wasn't playing that great. I had my camera out. I literally just kept it like right here around my chest. And I was like, well, if he recognizes me, then I know I was talking to him. If he doesn't, it's all right. I get a cool video of Phil, I'm just gonna wave, whatever. And he sees me and I'm like, oh my gosh, if you're looking at, and I have like a crowd, okay? A crowd behind me. And he just comes up to me, shakes my hand, says, "You're crushing the internet." And I'm just like, oh my gosh. and like if only you could hear the people behind me whispering like, oh my God, who is she? Who is she? How does she know him? And I'm like, and I just turn around, I'm like, yeah, we're friends.
You still got to keep it cool though. You still have to keep it cool. I saw the rest of it.
We're on a friend level now. But yeah, that was definitely one of the cool moments.
Awesome.
Let me ask you a question, because golf is not that sport to be internet friendly or didn't start out like that. How is your approach, becoming viral and being this online sensation? Have you gotten any pushback from like the OGs or even other players? How do they receive your attention right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been a lot of like, competitive players and girls that I've grown up with that were very like, are you sure this is the right approach? Are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, I thought that you were just about, making sure that your game would prove, your worth and stuff like that. And like, don't get me wrong, like those comments definitely kind of like hit you back, especially like being a female golfer, and like trying to use, your looks to try and get out there. You want to get, like, before social media became a thing in golf, I never put on makeup when I played. I just, all I cared about was like, I'm going to shoot low. I'm going to beat everybody. This is what I'm going to do. But then when it came to pro golf, I had to be able to market myself and also afford to play. I didn't have any sponsors at the gate. I didn't have my family to back me. So I wanted to use social media as a leverage. And it just so happened that right when I turned pro, social media grew in golf. So when I started trying to push my social media, that's when I got pushback. But now, flash forward a couple of years, people now come to me. A lot of girls now come to me, and they're like, "All right, what are you doing? Because I need help now."
Yeah.
And I'm happy to give back because like I get it. It's hard. I get it. It was a new thing. It was weird, and it just didn't seem accepted at first. But now the reactions are so much more positive, and they know that I'm trying to show talent in a different way. Like, you know, I'm not trying to look just cute out there. Like, that's why I like to do the tricks. That's why I like to do the dancing. That's why I like to show off my swing because, like, I think that there's a lot of, like, talent behind it. And when people try it themselves, they'll realize it's really not that easy doing what I'm doing either. It's just a different golf path that I'm taking.
Now I'm gonna take a magic wand and like wave it and give you like full creative control of the world of like the PGA Tour and LPGA and everything. How do we get more young people, more people on the internet, more folks where now we are just dying for sports content? Like I know the Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, I think it was like the Tom Brady and Peyton Manning golf, you know, the doubles that they played was one of the highest rated golf things ever on TV. If you were running the PGA Tour, if you were running LPGA, what would you do? What would be the first thing you do to get more young people involved in golf, more people of color, more people of different races to be involved in a sport that's been around forever, it seems?
Right, absolutely. I think that there's just so many different components when it comes to that because golf is so traditional. So like if I could control things, firstly, I would want the women to make just as much as the men. Like these girls are just as entertaining. I want them to get just as much airtime. I want them to get just as much earnings because the amount of hard work that they put in is just as hard as the men. So that would be the first thing that I want to do. I want to make sure investors want to put some time, money, and effort into the women's tour. Let's get more airtime. Let's do cooler ads. Let's do like something that's just more energetic and fun and like new, young. Like, why do we have to be so like, you know, perfect?
Yeah,
like, hey,
it's very hoity-toity.
Yeah.
Like the most, it's wild. Like the most like cool stuff I remember about golf is like Happy Gilmore and like Tiger Woods, like stuff like that because it transcends the sport. Like I feel like sports in general, when you get that one person at that one time that ends up transcending the sport, it almost has nothing to do with the actual skill. It's the culture of it. The culture kind of changes.
yes, completely. I agree. And I think that's part of it. Like, I think we have now a lot of young guns that are now on the LPGA and PGA that's really helping make that momentum. But I think like a huge part of the way we market the game needs to change. Like, I think there's a good way to find a medium between tradition and you know, kind of moving with the new. Like the style is now changing in golf. Like that now there's like an athleisure kind of look, which I think is really welcoming to women and young guys too. Like I like that I can wear joggers and shoes that kind of look like, you know, like Puma RSXs on the course. Like I like that style. I want to be street, like tee to street. I think that's really welcoming. Changing the way we market, like having, like I said, cooler, more upbeat ads, like these badass commercials that you see for the WNBA, the NBA. Like, why can't we make golf like that? Like, you know how hard it is to hit a little golf ball with this little club? It's really hard. We can make it look cool. Like, let's not be lame about it anymore, you know? And then just continuing to talk about, you know, topics that may be, you know, not as comfortable and making sure that we're catering to all the demographics in golf, because I think that in golf culture, we all agree that we need to move forward, but the conversations are just not used to being had yet.
Right.
And I think the more we talk about it, I think that golf will be able to move forward. But it's like, who's going to be the first one to bring it up? And that's just kind of how we got to start from there.
Let me ask you, before you take on a day of golf, a match, you know, a tour, what are you listening to? Like, what's on your Apple Music? What's on your Spotify, your Tidal? What gets you inspired, motivated to go out and do the best you can? Like, who are you tuned into right now?
So I grew up in Chicago, and I moved out to California like kind of in my teens, but I really grew up with like late 90s, early 2000s music. Like I'm all about that hip hop and R&B vibe. I would always like I'd have like a more mellow playlist where you may hear like Usher or Ray J or
Nice.
something like that. Then I'd have a little more poppin' playlist where you could hear like Missy Elliott or something. It just depends on the vibe, but like I've always brought I think that's one of the things that I like to say I think makes me a little different in the golf space is that I really love to bring hip hop culture into it. And whenever I do these dances on the course, I love to bring in like the Chris Brown. I did that Go Crazy challenge, you know. I just like
See, go crazy. You heard the conversation off camera was with my future wife about how much I love that song, and she thinks it's so basic. It's a great song, Jazz. It's a great
You
song.
should see her face. Like her face is so annoying.
I'm sure you did great on the Go Crazy challenge. No joking.
So we're gonna shoot the breeze for a little bit. Do you mind sticking around as we talk about things going on? So let's
Yeah.
get right into it. Yesterday,
might
well
as
today, Lou Williams.
Oh
Sixth man
Yeah.
of the Los Angeles Clippers, right? Had an excused absence to leave the bubble, right? Everybody's talking about the NBA bubble and
Trouble
it's
in the bubble.
Trouble in the bubble, right? So shout out to Jack Harlow, another artist that I like a lot and What's Poppin', one of my favorite songs right now. Jack Harlow took a picture on Instagram with Lou Williams in his NBA mandated face mask saying, "In a place you won't believe where I'm at," right? Screenshotted it. It was too late, like 25 minutes later, 20 minutes later, it was gone. Now, Lou Williams is gonna have to quarantine for 10 days because it turns out the sixth man of the year, one of the greatest six men that ever lived, LA Clippers, a big title contender. He was at Magic City, getting wings
just like-
in Atlanta. He went to go see some family, but first he stopped over in Atlanta to get the world famous food at Magic City. Now, there's a lot of things Magic City is world famous for,
Right.
but a lot of people, you know what I mean, aren't so hip to the culinary aspects of gentlemen's clubs. And people think we BSing. Like, people think like, oh.
So Tish, if you're not familiar, when you go to a gentleman's club, when you go to a strip club, it's either you get chicken wings, lamb chops, mac and cheese, but there's also so many different clubs around the.
Lamb chops.
Yes.
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 Lamb chops.
In Detroit, there's yo.
Motherfucking strip club.
In Detroit, there's this.
I've lost a lot of respect for you, man.
And that's
What do you
why-
mean?
why?
A lamb chop?
Yo.
Preparation and love goes into making a lamb chop.
Yes,
perfectly.
yes.
They probably giving a well done, sweaty ass lamb chop.
Jazz.
Well, I've
Some
never
of the
had
best fried catfish
Ever.
I've ever had in my life
A lamb chop.
was in a gentleman's club. Okay.
I forgot what club it is. It's in Detroit, and it's called a day shift.
Okay.
And during the day shift, they have discounted lamb chops, mac and cheese, hookah, and bottles of Hennessy
Yeah.
and Douce for $25.
Wait, that's a.
Like that's part of the.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like,
what
what
the
kind of
day
deal
shift
we
is.
get?
That's what the day shift is, bro.
Okay.
$25 bottles of liquor.
Yo.
So yes, I understand, Lou. I get it. Wings over rings.
Wings over rings. Wings over rings, bro. No, so that's the thing, right? So now, you know, he's got to sit out 10 days.
Yeah.
He's going to miss 2 games, right?
Seeding games.
Those are seeding games.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
granted, like, they aren't locked into the number 1 seed. The Lakers are.
Right.
So, like, lo and behold, if we go this many times, there's going to be a lot of people that's either leaving the bubble or you know, trying to figure out ways around, you know, the
It's just
bubble
like,
to
you
figure
gotta
things
be
out.
smart. Like you gotta be smart. Like especially with the season like starting next week.
Right.
We're getting we're getting into the swing of things. Y'all just gotta be smart. Like y'all could wait 2-3 more weeks or months without this strip club. Like I get it. And then you put it on fucking social media.
Yeah, bro. Like,
just
that's
stay
what-
off the radar. I
That's
don't
the thing that gets me
don't get it.
the worst. Like Jack Harlow, great white guy, like his music.
Great artist. Great artist.
That was a rookie move, Jack. Like, you're not supposed to put it on the gram. Like, save that.
Jack took the picture of
Jack,
him.
they did a selfie. And the wall seemed very club/loungish.
Right.
So initially, people were just like, yo, you broke the bubble to go to a strip club, one of the most probably highly contaminated places that you can probably go. Amongst all this, amongst like a couple of days ago saying like there's 0 coronavirus cases. 0.
And you
like,
go to
it's working.
You go to a nasty ass fucking strip. Shout out to Magic City. Shout out to Magic City.
Hey,
Nasty.
listen.
Y'all going there for lamb chops for weeks.
Day shift,
When
that's-
Wingstop right down the street from
Jasmine,
the Orlando bubble
Jasmine.
delivers.
It don't hit the same, Jazz. It don't hit the
Day shift in
same.
Detroit.
Once it's franchised,
In a few months.
listen, you know when food gets franchised, it don't hit the same. I love me some Wingstop too. But Magic City Wings,
Wings over rings, Tish.
they're
That's the
jumbo.
Don't worry about you infecting me with my family at home, the things I'm trying to do, the career, the chip I'm trying to win, the goals I'm
he's
trying
wrong.
to get.
No,
He's not. I'm not saying he's right.
We're not
So
saying
you
he's
can
right.
see some ass shake and get some honey garlic
But
parmesan wings
Jazz,
at
we're not,
Magic City.
we're not saying he.
I'm not saying he's not right.
He's wrong.
But the same thing, he said he went in and out. And if you follow any of his tweets, if you see anything that he said, like, he's been consistent about the greatness of Magic City chicken wings. Like, this isn't like, oh man, this is my alibi right now because, oh, if I just say I'm going to get food, whatever. But like you see, like shout out to Roz Golden Woody. She just did an interview with him maybe like a month ago. And he was talking about then, like, everybody who knows me knows my favorite food in the world is chicken wings from Magic City, like the jumbo wings. He has his own flavor of wings at Magic City. It's called Lou Willville Lemon Pepper or something like that.
There's nothing wrong.
Oh, that's here.
He really does. Like, it's not
Right
like,
now
you get it. Like, he's not
Now coming this
BSing
man because he got business in Dallas.
I'm just saying he could have waited.
you. Not for nothing.
Could have waited.
Not for nothing. This is the most publicity Magic City has gotten since the Players Club, bro. Like, if anything, whatever fine he gets, whatever money that he's got to forfeit for the game checks, Magic City got to cover that. Magic City got to be like, yo.
I mean, yes and no because he's already making business with them.
You're right.
Like, ain't no one twisted his arm to come get the wings.
Dude.
Bro, you know you're not supposed to be in a strip club. You know you're not supposed to be out partying. This is a fucking fundamental rule that has been implemented right now to keep motherfuckers safe. And there are no cases.
Right.
So what your dumb ass does is go to Atlanta, Georgia, where they did not close down at all.
Yeah.
There's no been
Yeah.
phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just been open.
Yeah.
And then you're coming back to Orlando where there are no cases and you're going to risk doing that.
It
And you're
reminds
going
me
to
of
see the
It
family.
reminds me of the whole Rashawn Holmes thing for the Sacramento Kings. Rashawn Holmes got rung out for getting Uber Eats. Like, he literally just went out the bubble for a hot second just to, like, pick up his food and go back.
You just can't.
And they were like, nah, you got to quarantine for like 6 days now.
I'm not
And
mad.
like,
I'm
what?
not mad. Any motherfucker in the NBA right now, y'all are not smart enough to understand how important this is. Y'all have 0 cases.
And y'all championship contenders, bro. Like,
Right.
the Clippers are like, they right there. It's either them or the Lakers out of the Western Conference.
Bro.
So it's like, and he's not, and Lou Will ain't no, like, scrub. Like, he's like, extremely important. 18 points per game off the bench. Like, that is no small task.
Let me ask Tish something real quick. Tish, if
up?
you were in the bubble, right? If the LPGA had a bubble, what are you leaving the bubble for? Food, a party, a man? What are you leaving the bubble
Nothing, because
for?
Tish is a woman and we're intelligent.
Intelligent.
And we follow the rules.
Tish.
I could not leave the bubble. If I left the bubble, I would be sacrificed by all the other girls inside the bubble. They would be like, you know what, don't even come back because of what you just did to us right now. Like,
Yeah,
I could not do that to the
That's
girls.
the one thing I'm most worried about. Granted, Lou Will's an OG.
Right.
I don't think anybody in the NBA is going to try and play him like, nah, son, you're not. My thing is, like, I don't need to face the players, like pretty much my brothers, and I'm in there with them for as long as till September, October.
September, October, yeah.
It's looking like, and you're putting the rest of them in danger.
It's
you know
just
what I'm saying?
be smart, man. That's it. Like, this is not rocket science.
So
it's not rocket science.
initially, the story was just Magic City, right? And anybody who's been to Atlanta knows strip club food and their culture, and like people literally go there for lunch and dinner every night, right? But from the outside looking in, people are just like, you left the bubble to go to a strip club? How irresponsible, Which begs the question, and I don't know how to word this without sounding insensitive.
Let's hear it.
At what point do you have to start worrying about adult entertainment inside the bubble to make sure things like this don't happen. These are grown men. These are NBA players. When Kyrie Irving was talking about, what was going to happen in the bubble and like how people were going to be satisfied being away from their wives and girlfriends or being single and all this type of stuff. Like, these were questions that were being asked. And now, I mean, granted, Lou just went to get some chicken wings and nothing nefarious happened, according to anybody else. But, I mean, what do you do? That's asking a lot of some people to be in a bubble for 40, 50, 60, 80 days.
You're making, how many millions are you making?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
You're competing with some of the top athletes in the world. You can take a fucking timeout and just relax. You can take some time out to better your game, to better your mind, your spirit, go fishing, get a new hobby, whatever the case is. Adult entertainment should not be a priority right now. Now, when we get to September, October, maybe we can start to break the seal.
We're talking about adults,
now,
bro. We're talking about grown men. Like, the men that, there's plenty of men that could go 3, 4, 5 months. No problem. I'm eyes on the prize. I'm focused. I'm not worried. But there's at least 2 or 3 of them that can't go without their medicine.
This might be the easiest track for all the teams that are there right now. This might be the easiest track to a championship.
Yes.
Your focus needs to be on a zillion.
Yeah.
There's no distraction.
There's no travel.
There's no crowd.
You don't got to have family coming in. You don't got to worry about getting tickets for your mans and
nothing.
You don't got to worry about nothing.
This is the easiest track to a championship. It does not take that much manpower to have 3 or 4 months of focus. It should not be this difficult. Like, it really shouldn't. So all y'all watching and all the money y'all making and all the deals y'all got and y'all in this pandemic, y'all still got to make this fucking money?
Yeah.
And y'all niggas can't stay out the fucking strip club? Or you can't get Uber Eats? If you don't go to Epcot Center and get a burger and go to the gym, bro, are you serious?
So listen, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm sorry. Tish, am I overreacting?
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No,
all I'm saying
I don't think you are.
Okay.
All I'm saying is all bases need to be covered.
I get it.
Talking. I think you should just shut up and stop talking. What about the troops who get drafted to the war? Is there a bubble for holes for them?
Yes.
No.
Do we want to talk about what troops do when they're on?
We know what
exactly.
We know what.
I was gonna say there are a lot of men out there who have to be at work, focus on something for 3 months at a time, not just in troops. But what about all the men that do this so our country can survive? So these motherfuckers can be in Orlando with a bubble to play basketball.
And I feel you.
All the men in America who don't get pussy when they're doing 3-month jobs straight. No, fuck these NBA players who make millions of fucking dollars. I'm sick of wasting talking time on these fucking privileged ass motherfuckers who have these expensive ass TV dinners. Who gives a fuck? People out there are struggling because they can't get no pussy. Let's move on. Let's talk more about Tish because she's way more exciting.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Tish.
Doing it for us because it's
damn right.
And I am inspired.
I need a drink.
Tish, I'm inspired just listening to you talk. Like, I want to go play golf now. Like,
that's what
this is what we
about.
need for the young women out here. We can all do it. We can all change. Fuck these NBA players trying to get pussy and fucking garlic parmesan wings. Let's talk about something that matters.
Jazzy, love of my life. Do you have a question for Tish?
You have a question
No,
for
she's
Tish?
inspired. Show me some dance moves so I can be as cool as you on the green. Okay?
Oh my goodness,
What else you
Tish.
got, bro?
So all that being said, I'd love to just ask, who do you got winning this whole thing out of the NBA bubble? Have you been following the league? Like, do you have any favorite teams that you root for? Like, who do you got winning it all at the end of this whole quarantine bubble thing?
Is it the NBA? Is that what
In the
you're
NBA, yeah.
I don't actually follow too much.
Okay.
I mean, I've played with a few guys like D. Will and stuff like that in golf. With Steph Curry and a few
Steph
others.
Curry's a huge golfer, right? Like now, so there's a lot of these NBA players, like Steph, and I think J.R. Smith, and football players like we mentioned with Tom Brady and all this stuff. How far along are they from being like not amateur, but I know Steph Curry. I've seen him play a couple times. He looks like he's really good. you would know more than I do. What's like what's the space between Steph being really good and like the worst PGA player? Like if Steph was just like, you know what, I'm not trying to hoop no more, or at 45 years old, he's like, you know what, I want to go play golf for the rest of my life. How far along would he have to get to be a professional if that's what he chose?
Okay, well, if you're gonna compare it to the line of becoming a professional, we still got quite a ways. But I think, like, let's say for Steph Curry in this example, like I was able to watch him at ACC, the championship in Tahoe, and walk alongside him. And I think just like when you put two and two together, that like this is one of the best ball players in the world right now, and he's able to basically beat the average golfer every day. Like you have the time to be one of the best in the world and also be pretty good at golf. That's pretty crazy. But if we're talking about like, I know he tried to go out and play like a professional event. He did okay, but we're saying he did okay in terms of like, this is not your world.
This
so
isn't
you did okay.
sport.
You know what I'm saying? But like as an athlete, amazing. If he wanted to go pro, no, it's just like, it's too hard of a world, I feel like, to be able to go pro, especially in two completely different sports. That's like completely different training. You know what I mean? It's like a way different like mental game, and like you don't need that much strength in golf. It will help. You need accuracy. That's right. Like that's what you need. But in general, all these athletes that I've I golf with, like Reggie Bush and like I said, Steph Curry and D Will and all them, like they're actually like all pretty good golfers. Like I think among the players that like aren't as great, I wouldn't say like Michael Jordan isn't that great of a golfer. I'm sorry, but like amazing.
I guess he took that
legend.
Personally. He's gonna take this personally. and the infamous Charles Barkley swing as well. We all know how awful Chuck is.
That needs work. He's a different story. He's a little low on the players list among athletes. He can use a little work on his game, Charles Barkley.
Oh my God.
Tish, let me ask you, golf is not my world, but I like to correlate it like in a language that I can speak. So NBA is very competitive, NFL very competitive, a lot of shit talking. How is the competition in regards to shit talking, beef, or anything like that? Is there anything like that, like in golf? Or
where's the mental
personal?
game?
Yeah, like what is it? Does it get personal?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. I mean, if you ever like watch some of the golf now, because there are no fans right now for the men's tour events, they just put mics everywhere, and you actually get to hear these guys banter more so than if there were fans. Because because when there's fans, you don't hear them so much unless they're close to a mic. And like, I mean, of course, like these guys, just like any other guys, any other athletes, they got like really close friendships and stuff. Right. But they're shit talking each other. There's drama behind the scenes. Same for the women's tour. I think women naturally don't shit talk as much, I suppose, but the men for sure do. Like there's definitely beef within there and stuff like that.
Do you talk shit?
Yeah, I'm a pretty competitive person. I would.
Do you have any?
I'm glad you kept it on. I saw the wheels turn. I'm like, just be that.
Do you have any beef with anybody, or like is there any bad blood with someone in the league?
Between me?
Yeah, like you and another player.
I would feel like somebody like yourself who gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I feel like somebody might look at you and be like, she ain't even all that shit, like whatever.
You know what? Not that I know of. I mean, if there is, it's not being said to my face. But like, I mean, I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm all about collaborating and stuff like that. So if you want to collaborate with me, if you want to be my friend, yo, I'm here. I want to grow women's golf, so there's no reason why any of us should fight. But if you want to compete against me, that's a different story. Like I'll get DMs just from like, random average people, whatever. Like they haven't been golfing their whole life, and they'll say something stupid like, oh, I bet I could take you on like and beat you like by 5 shots in 18 holes. And they think that I'd never read it. And I'll comment back and I say like, no, you don't have a fucking chance.
You don't have a fucking chance.
Oh, man. So, Tish, before, I just want to say thank you. So I know you got to get out of here. We've already had you for so long. If there is anything that you want to plug, anything you want to shout out before we let you go, now's the time. The floor is yours.
I mean, I just appreciate you guys having me on for real. I don't know if y'all had a golfer on before, but thank you guys
You're the
for
first.
having
You're
me.
the first.
You've
First?
had
I'm the
basketball
first?
players, football players,
Oh, I'm the
wrestlers,
first?
rappers. You're the first golfer, so you made history.
Okay, I made history. First golfer, let alone a chick. If any of you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at Tisha Alyn. That's me on every platform. Be sure to check these guys out as well.
Awesome. Thank you so
Tish,
much, Tish.
thank
Appreciate
you.
you for swinging through. And stay safe.
Yes.
Stay corona free. Wash your hands, hand sanitize, wear masks, all that stuff. And we'll get you back here again soon, all right?
You got it. I'll be
Thank
back.
you, Tish.
Awesome. Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. All right. That was great. Shout out to Tisha Allen. That was
Hey,
great.
listen, man, that was great. Thank you, Jazz. Thank
Very
you.
inspiring.
Thank you,
Extremely
Jazz, for
inspiring.
yelling at
man.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sick of you guys.
It's our second episode. What do
You
we
guys,
do?
I don't care. Just in life, you get on my nerves.
What?
Your viewpoints are just so manly and stupid.
It's a fucking man
It's
cave.
yes, yes.
It's the
Women
lion's
here.
den. This is
This
not the
woman
salon.
here. Come on,
It
son.
should be
You
safe.
thought you were gonna have very well balanced, nuanced conversations about a basketball player going to a strip club to get chicken
No,
on
nigga, I get it. Yes, I do get it. Just
Come
be
on.
smart. That's all.
Come on, man.
I probably would have made the
It's-
dumbass mistake too.
Oh my gosh, Jake, fire up them topics, man. What do we
What
got?
do we
brother?
got?
What do we got? What do we
On the
got?
Lou Williams thing, while I get the topics up,
Yes.
I just wanted to say it was a little ironic that only 6 weeks ago we were hearing all about Lou Will. Oh, this is a distraction. Coming
Yeah.
back to sports is a distraction.
That is true. He was one of the very
He did say that.
he was very vocal about, players going back to play and taking the attention off Black Lives Matter, taking the attention off George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. Now, granted, the one thing that I've seen that's been very dope with a lot of NBA players is like they're answering almost no basketball
Yeah.
questions. Like every press conference is like, arrest the cops that
Killed Breonna
Taylor. I'm still talking about George Floyd. I'm like, great game, this, that. This is what I believe a great world with racial equality means and whatever. Like, that's why I've always thought like not playing in the bubble was such a silly idea. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm guessing, and I'm gonna be super off, and I don't have the exact numbers. That these past 2 days have absolutely been the most watched basketball games with no consequences. The TV rating has got to be through the roof because it's like, yo, we're fiending for it. We've had 4 months of being away from all of sports, and now that we're getting it back, a lot of these athletes, the LeBron James of the world, Paul George of the world, Tobias Harris,
Even the WNBA team's walking out during the national
yo,
anthem. Like,
shout out to the WNBA, bro.
Yeah.
Like
They're speaking loud as fuck.
the WNBA, man, and it's never been, this ain't new to them. Like the WNBA has always been like at the forefront of social change and using their voices
As women always have.
which
Women's
it always has,
Black
man.
women
Like
have always been at the forefront, taking care of us, taking the lead on things. So we always got to make sure the respect is shown because
1,000%. It's a
every day.
league with 70% black women.
Right.
Like it would make all the sense in the world for them to use their voices to enact change.
Right.
And on top of that, I think it's extremely dope that now more than ever, the NBA is like, the NBA has always been supportive, but now it's like they're like this.
But I
You know
think
what
think because of, like you just said, 4 months of no one playing anything, no sports being broadcasted. I think now they see that the light is on them crazier than it's ever been.
Absolutely.
And I'm really proud to see some of these players step up, use their voices, make sure that these issues that we've been going through for the last 3-4 months are not forgotten. Yeah, we got sports back. Yeah, it's great to have leisure back again and talk shit and be able to do this, but outside of that, these things are still happening.
Yeah, and the one thing is like Lou Williams had a point. Like, yeah, it isn't as on TV as much as it was before, right? But now you have this camera on you every day. You know what I mean? Like you have the media in front of you every day. They're only gonna talk about what you talk to them about. You know what I mean? Like if you want to talk about hoops, they'll talk hoops. But I can't even remember like a real basketball quotable in the past couple of weeks. I feel like it was a concerted effort for everybody in the NBA and the WNBA to be like, listen, once we have a microphone in our face, once it's time to get in front of the press, we ain't talk about no basketball, we ain't talk about no hoops, especially now where we got these scrimmages going on and they're just getting in the swing of things and these games don't have any real consequence outside of us getting back into shape.
Yeah.
We are going to use our voices now more than ever.
Right.
And granted, you turn on the TV when it first happened, every single night, cameras in New York, cameras in Chicago, cameras in Minnesota. You go to Portland right now, like Portland is a war zone right now. Like it's been what 38 straight days of protests and you know sending the federal troops to battle with each other. It's been insane, but it's not on CNN every night. It's not on Fox every night. It's not what it was when George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, when these things first started happening, where it was headline news first. Like we're not even showing what we're having on TV. Like they were breaking their traditional programming to show these things. And now, yes, Lou Will, you were 1,000% right. But on top of that, I'm really proud of the NBA and especially the WNBA for going so hard and making sure that, like, listen, we're not going to let this fall by the wayside.
Right.
We're not going to fall. There's no going back to normal. There's no like, well, once we get basketball back and people are watching and we're spending money and all this other stuff, like, we won't have to deal with these things again. No, because it's a long process. It's not something where, well, they planted Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Tower, racism is solved, right? Like all these like very empty gestures that's been going on.
I mean, like just the NBA putting Black Lives Matter on the court.
Yeah.
Just that in itself says, you know, it speaks volumes to where the NBA is in regards to this conversation.
Right.
And to have that on your court every day, every night, just knowing the season's coming back, knowing the eyes are there, knowing the conversation is going to get restarted. Yeah. That's just, you know, I'm proud to see that.
It's looking like the NBA, and especially for the last couple of years, they've been leading the charge in so many forward-thinking initiatives that I feel like all sports are going to take. This is why the whole Lou Williams thing is hilarious to me, because it's like the bubble is working. Like a lot of people were, and to this day, like anytime we hear like such and such has coronavirus, shut it down. Yeah. We don't want to play. Shut the league down. People are dying. Why are we doing this? Nikola Jokic had the coronavirus right before training camp. He's cooking. He's fine. Yeah. Like a lot of these players who tested positive, quarantine, came back, and they've been good. Granted, there's been, you know, some strange things happening with a few baseball players. I forgot what's the name of the guy who had like a little bit of some lung issue after he had it. Like he didn't really recover all the way. But it's so important that this thing works, because if it doesn't, it's gonna send such a hard message for just entertainment and sports going forward until there's an actual vaccine for this thing. Now, it's looking like we're in a good space, right? Like
moving
as silly as this whole Lou Williams thing is.
I think the way they're moving is a very productive, very, very productive in how they're handling it.
Right.
No cases. The bubble. We have our meals. Like it's a very restricted area. There's social distancing on the bench.
Yeah.
Like the precautions they're taking are very, very responsible. Yeah. And if they can stay on this track, this will be the new precedent.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like if they could stay here and stay in this area, we'll be good. But if they got this far, they built a bubble. They damn near just built a new NBA league down there. Like imagine what we could do outside of the NBA in New York, in Houston, in Atlanta.
I mean, we here, man. Like in New Jersey and New York.
Yeah, like if New York was the epic center of this shit.
Yeah.
We were a hot city.
Yeah.
And now, you know, the numbers are going down. Jersey is at where it is. But these other fucking
I think less than 1% between both New York and New Jersey right now.
Listen and just follow. It's just not that fucking difficult.
So have you caught some of the games this week? Or at least just like seeing it?
Yeah.
So what do you think of like the whole setup? Like the big screen, like it looks like a video game.
Looks like NBA 2K.
Yeah, like they got like the big like home.
It's weird watching it.
Yeah.
It's weird watching it and just not hearing it.
Right.
But then it's also dope to hear niggas talking shit, and like you saw Melo got the rebound. Yeah. It's like fuck out of here, nigga. I got it.
Surround sound,
yeah. So
bro.
like I like it.
First off, let's be clear. We can hear Melo saying, "I got to fuck out of here" in a stadium full of
nigga. Now we hear it in HD. Like now I can hear it like it's like a fucking Beats by Dre pill sitting right next to me. So no, I like it. It's intimate. It's cool. It's fun to watch. It's like watching like fucking high school basketball.
Yeah.
But with your favorite.
It's so weird though, because it's like, man, I've watched a couple of games.
Yeah.
And we watch plays. Me and my wife was watching the play. Me and my fiance was watching the plays, and Terrence Ross hit a half-court shot. And usually, when you watch the NBA game, somebody hits a half-court shot, you hear the like there's that weird.
Didn't hear shit.
It was like we were just looking at each other like, did that go in? Like, what? Like, well, yeah, we had to rewind and like, oh damn, that went in. Okay, like there's still that piece
That's
of
missing.
live audience reactions that's been missing. That still kind of makes this whole thing feel really fucking weird.
And given the circumstances, this is what we're accustomed to right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that we could get it to this level, that we could build a facility, that we could go to a city and actually have this, done for them.
Yeah.
That's just immaculate.
Yeah.
To think about. So like the crowd shit, cool, we can do without that. And whenever it's safe to go outside and be around 20,000 people, cool, we'll get to that point. But the fact that we can watch our favorite sport and people can make money and do what they got to do and feed their families.
Right.
That's cool. While still
it's not
speaking,
even just about the athletes. Too,
no,
man.
but
like,
while speaking to the issues of what's going on today.
Yeah.
While
I mean,
still doing that.
This is all needed, and even like reporters, people who create content, people like us, like a lot of people depend on these leagues to continue to make money, and as much as we. Always have our human interest and rights at heart when it comes to these certain things, man. Like, the economy is fucked up. Like, people got to go to work. People got to make some money. Like, we can have all the virtues in the world we want, but like, if we ain't got no money,
can't do shit.
we can't do shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a fact. One thing I found really weird though, Fox Sports, right?
Fox Sports.
Fox has had these virtual fans in baseball games.
That shit looks weird as fuck.
I don't
to
like
me, bro.
that shit.
I don't like that shit at all. They look like a bunch of bots, and I'm like, are people? Oh, those are robots.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little too creepy.
Like, do they have like the fake wave and like,
Yeah,
do
I'm cool on
they?
that, but
Somebody hit a home run and then like you saw like I don't think they really worked out the kinks yet. There's not like a crowd reaction to a home run.
Yeah.
They're all just like.
No, that's not. They doing too much.
It's strange.
White folks always love doing too
So
much.
they've been using cutouts.
I'm a fan of the cutouts. I like the cutouts.
That's still doing too much. Nigga, why do you need a fucking cutout? It's not a real person. Play the game. There's no cutouts in the NBA.
I'm cool with the
Why?
In a weird, I like the cutouts, bro.
That's creepy, bro.
Listen,
Sorry.
I've seen somebody
That's
like
creepy
drill
as shit.
line drives into like a cardboard
Bro,
cutout.
imagine pitching and then a fucking cardboard board is just looking, a cutout cardboard is looking at you with no emotion and it's draining the life out of you. Like, I don't need to look at a fucking blonde cutout board while I'm on the mound. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Well,
Get that shit out of
they've had, if you watched Korean baseball back in the day, they had, not back in the, like a couple months ago, like
back in the day, nigga.
when they first started showing sports, whatever, they had like stuffed animals in the crowd. And that was,
that's even weird too. What are you talking about? Go to just the seats are empty. They're not making any money. There's no one serving beer. It's the players, the coaches, and that's it.
Who's the poor guy that's got to set that whole thing up?
Imagine having to go to work with a mask on to put a cardboard cutout in a stadium seating. That's what my life has come to?
Yes, it's a living, bro. I'll do
You do
it
it?
for 20 hours. What if it was minimum wage, $20 an hour, $15 an hour? Who's doing that? I don't even know what minimum wage. You know what minimum wage is in
15.
15 in New York?
My pride won't let me do it.
Somebody's eating that.
Korean baseball is bringing back fans today, actually.
Really?
Today.
Like full stadiums?
Yeah, they were just saying it on the Fox opening night MLB broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been like kind of tailing what Korean baseball does. Yeah. So there's kind of these murmurs that maybe come around like late season they could bring fans
back. If we
back.
would just fucking listen. If y'all would just stay in the house.
You see this?
Wear a mask.
You see this shit?
But
you like sports?
Like
you like life before all this? Yo, you see, where's the hand sanitizer? I don't know if there's sanitizer back here. You see this? Put it on your fucking face.
It's mind-boggling that the privilege that some of these people have when it comes to wearing masks and hand sanitizing and going into spots without your mask. It's like, bro, it's not that. Bro. It's never this. It can't be that
and
serious.
The audacity of some people. I saw somebody wearing a Nazi mask coming into a Walmart. I forgot where it was, but she had like a Nazi insignia on her mask. and she was like, "Fuck you," and nah, 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 fuck your mask, and I'm just like,
bro. Well, at least you had
maybe this is natural selection, bro. Like maybe God was like, I'm gonna test them real quick, right? I'm gonna see what we can do about making sure that whatever we about to go through, because I feel like in a weird way this is all kind of preparing us for the aliens.
Oh, something's coming.
Like, something big is coming.
Something
right?
is coming because this is what's going on outside. Like in the timing of all of this shit.
Yes,
fucking
I'm telling you.
The protests, the COVID, the election is in 3 months.
199 days now.
Something about to hit this earth with a fucking wrath. And I don't know what it is, but
the aliens, bro, they coming.
Something about to get us.
They here.
They're coming.
They've been here. I mean, shoot. Like,
oh, she about to go down a rabbit hole.
Are we going down there?
She about to go down there. I saw the wheels turn. I'm like, Jazz, don't do it.
Oh,
I'm like, Jazz,
God.
save yourself the stress. Save yourself the
But
stress,
yo,
baby.
like, I've had so many thoughts about the UFOs and the aliens. I can't wait,
something's
bro.
coming. Something's coming.
They're already planting, like, not planting stories. They're mentally preparing us all for like, yo, in the next like 6-7 months, y'all about to see some shit.
Bro, it's probably it's getting so bad that these niggas probably like double taking. Like, do we really need to go to Earth because this shit don't look, it don't look how it used to. Like, I don't know what these masks is about. Niggas ain't really outside. Like,
yo,
what's going on?
What if somehow? What if in some galaxy brain way, the COVID disease was like a weapon against the aliens already here?
Nigga, this is not Men in Black. This is not fucking
What if the government was like, yo, aliens?
So all right, so you're saying the government used COVID to flush out.
To flush them out. What if they're like, yo, we know who they are. They look just like you and me. They're like, I'm of the belief, I don't believe aliens are gonna come in here with antennas and greasy.
So you think they're like Transformers and Men in Black, like they're
Bro, I think it's like
disguising
Men in Black.
themselves.
No, I don't think they're disguising themselves. I just think they probably like have 1 or 2 quirks. Like they'll probably look just like Matt, but like have like a gill on their face or something. Like I don't think they look that much different than us. Like you ever see somebody walking down the street and like, all right, that's
Right,
different,
so
but
this will probably get me. This will probably get me in trouble. Who do you think in the industry?
who's the
is
alien?
among- yeah,
who's the alien who walks amongst us?
Who walks amongst us? In the
Oh my
industry?
gosh. Okay. All right. Off rip.
Off rip, who is it?
What's this guy's name? Lil Pump. 1,000%. Lil Pump 1,000% an alien. Kanye West. Definitely an extraterrestrial.
I think Vince Staples is one.
You think Vince Staples is an alien?
That nigga's he got that boy be thinking. There's
I
something.
mean, I don't know.
Not in a bad way. Like he's
I
just.
feel like Vince Staples is one of our last lines of defense when it comes to some crazy shit
I
happening.
think Vince is just way out there where he knows a little too much.
You ever see Y&W Melly? What's the guy's name?
Oh, I hate that kid.
He looks like an alien.
Yeah,
he looks like somebody. Who got,
No, I think
apparently he got that shit too in jail. He got that Rona.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think so. So I mean,
Oh well.
I'm not gonna.
No, not oh well, but it's like
Shit.
all right.
Hold on, guys. Vic is in the building. Let me go let Vic in the building. Hold on.
Yo, you got any more liquor?
How the hell did I unlock the door? My fault, brother. What's going on, family?
Hey, what up?
Come say hey, what's up, Vic? Come on, real quick. We live. Come on, man.
What up, Vic?
Shout out to the proprietor of Lines Den. My man Vic. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing, man?
Over here on a Sunday afternoon on his off day.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. But Y&W Melly, definitely
Yeah.
alien.
So Y&W Melly, Lil Pump, and Vince Staples.
Cardi B, 1,000% could be an extraterrestrial. You don't think so?
Nah, she's from the Bronx, yo.
I mean,
That's just the BX.
I mean, I don't know if it's, I'm not even talking about, you know what I mean, like her
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
aesthetic, but I mean, if there was somebody who could pass for,
Nah,
you know,
I think-
somebody who walks amongst us,
I think
it'd
my
be
man-
her.
My man Vince got it.
Vince
My man Vince is an alien. Love that nigga, bro. I love Vince
I love Vince Staples,
I
bro.
love that nigga, man.
I've been waiting for Vince Staples to have his own, like, I've been waiting for somebody to throw Vince Staples the bag for the
yeah,
longest.
something on FX or some shit
So
like that.
FX or
Hulu.
Adult Swim, Hulu,
Yeah, Adult
something
Swim,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I always felt like He's been one of the most.
Vince is one of the last, like you said, he's one of the last guys.
He gives me like Eric Andre vibes.
He just gets it.
Tyler the Creator, you know what I mean?
He just gets it, bro. He just gets it.
Dude is hilarious.
Where we at with it, though?
Jake, talk to me, brother. Where we at?
What do we got?
Oh, wait, time out. Shout out to Truly, as always. 13 flavors. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, yada, 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 but you know. Shout out to Truly Hard Seltzer, man. One of the big sponsors of Say Less with Kaz. 13 different flavors. You can go to trulyhardseltzer.com. Find out where you can get it. It's delicious. It's light. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like my cognac drinking days are like on its, like they're numbered. You know what I mean? So like, if I still want to get a little bit, you know what I mean? Not you. You're a medical marvel.
There it is.
So, like,
Wait for that name.
I don't know how you managed to do this, but I'll get my Truly Hard Seltzer in because it's light, still can get lit, and I can work off this quarantine gut. So shout out to them, the sponsor of Say Less with Kaz.
Truly.
Jake, what we got, bro?
We got Snoop versus DMX.
Yeah. And what did I say?
Listen.
What did I say? They had to start it off with the prayer.
And they did.
And they did.
And they did.
But now, talk to me.
I gotta talk about Billboard and Revolt, bro.
Uh-oh.
Right? They went and said that DMX won the battle.
And they got it right.
And they got it right?
They got it
And they got it, okay. So what battle were you watching?
The battle that my employer was doing, Apple Music on Verzuz TV. I was watching that same battle.
All right.
So
I thought DMX put on I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
I feel like Snoop was playing too nice. I feel like Snoop.
And that was Snoop's fault.
That was Snoop's fault. I feel like Snoop was playing I feel like I could have put on a better performance.
Snoop was playing personal favorites and personal classics for
Right.
him because he was in the moment. He was enjoying it.
Right.
I think it was more so of a celebration for him. I don't think he was looking at it as a battle. If he really looked at it as a battle, the song sequence would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
Like he did play some really heavy hitters. He played Down for My Niggas.
Yeah.
The Shiznit.
Yeah.
What was it? A Pound for Pound. Yeah. He played a lot of joints that I did not expect him to play.
Right.
X, with the help of fucking Swiss Beats,
Yeah.
them niggas came in with a game plan, stuck to that game plan, brought out the hits, brought out the fucking classics, brought out the club bangers. Even with this nigga being winded from like running the 80-yard dash, they still put on a fucking show.
I'll put it like this. In my pro wrestling terms, Snoop did the job for DMX, all right? Like, when you do the job, that means that you're going to make your opponent look as good as possible.
Right.
I feel like
DMX... So you saying there's a handicap?
I feel like DMX needed this more than Snoop. Like, Snoop's already one of the most famous rappers in history. Like, he's not like... Him doing a versus battle isn't gonna up his clientele any more than it already is.
Right.
But we all know how much it would help DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how big, at one time, how massive of a star.
Like I said,
DMX
in 8 months span, an album, it's Dark and Hell is Hot, and then goes to My Flesh and My Flesh, Blood and My Blood. 8 months.
Yeah.
And those two projects came out in the same year.
I can't believe that, what made it fun for me is that Snoop was ad-libbing for DMX. He was playing like...
X was doing the same shit.
He was being his hype man. Like, they were doing it... Now I kind of want to see them go on tour. Like, granted, if we ever have tours again.
Right.
I mean, like, I would love to see them on a tour together. Like, I would love to see, like... It's weird because we're, like, the first class of, like... watching our hip-hop, like, OGs, like, grow old, right?
Right.
So, like, when you were growing up, you see old people go watch, like, the Rolling Stones and, the
Sly and the Family Stone. Like
just old school acts. And, like, now because of Verzuz, I feel like we're giving that avenue to a lot of these OGs to go back and get that tour money.
Yeah.
And, like, even if you're not doing it by yourself, like, do, like, WBLS, they always got, like, the
Ladies' Night.
The Ladies' Night
winter
love boats
concert.
and stuff.
Women Fire has been touring since I was born.
Facts,
Okay?
exactly.
They are still making their tour money. Frankie and Beverly
Beverly and Maze,
Yes, they are
absolutely.
getting. My mom went to their concert last year. Okay, there's always money for people with content and good songs and classic timeless songs, so they'll all be good for the rest of their lives.
And it's up to us too as consumers. Like, I feel like we were getting into like a dangerous, like, sort of path of just like not giving a fuck about our legends, right? Like I feel like a lot of young hip hop fans, they would see a Snoop or DMX or somebody older and be like, man, get this old nigga out of here. Like nobody wants to see it. Now because of Verzuz, like not only are you like bringing back like people our age and a little bit older and a little bit younger to remember just how big these artists were. Now the younger kids are like, damn, this dude did this, he did that. Like, well, I actually like that song. Like,
honestly, I think Verzuz should do this. This is an idea. Swizz and Timbo, take this if you want, but I'll come and get you from Apple Music. Take the top 3 battles, the top numbers.
What top 3 battles do you think? What do you think were the top?
Let me get my idea.
Oh, sorry, my fault. But damn,
the top 3 battles. The top highest numbers for the top 3 shows should go on tour. The top 3 numbers.
Is Apple gonna cut the check? Are you gonna say it right now? Are you gonna get on TV right now and say Tim Cook cut the check?
No, but the top 3 battles should go on tour. So whether it be Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, maybe T-Pain, Lil Jon, or Beanie Man and Bounty Killer.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If I'm
Beanie Man and Bounty Killer have to be on the bill.
Yes,
that's a clash. That was a clash.
If I'm Live Nation, if I'm any of these touring acts, like this is all the evidence I need to send people back on tour. Like, I'm saying in the event, you know what? Yo, here's the even better idea, Verzuz. Here's the even better idea.
Don't take my
anybody who wants to go on tour.
Don't take my idea.
Where's your drive-in concerts, bro? Like, yo,
that's becoming a thing now.
Yo, a Verzuz battle.
That's becoming a thing.
Outdoor. Yo, you can go to MetLife Stadium right now. Put up a stage in the parking lot.
That'd be fire.
You pull up, you have your cars parked wherever the hell it is. That's your ticket.
Yo,
you know
that
what I mean?
would
Like
be
you sit
fire.
there, and then if you got a sunroof, if you want to sit on the car, sit on the hood, whatever, like that's your tour. And like if you're marketing to like the older group, like all these old dudes got cars and disposable income anyway. Like I don't need to worry about like 12, 13, 14-year-olds that want to go see Drake on show with Lil Uzi Vert or all these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna hyper focus myself on these people who have been cooped up in the house for 4 or 5 months, having got a bunch of money to spend, that are fiending to see some live music, and be like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna aim this. We have a whole new audience of people that grew up with Snoop, grew up with DMX, grew up with Jill Scott, grew up with Erykah Badu, grew up with Beanie Man, grew up with Bounty Killer, grew up with Timbo, grew up with Swizz, and would 1,000%. It would sell out anywhere.
And then stream it on Apple TV.
Well, you got to get the plug in.
I'm saying, like, for people that are like in like New Zealand or people in Australia, like people who can't, come to these shows, just stream it on Apple TV. It's an extension of the Verzuz brand. And then
and it's safe.
And safe.
That's the key there. It's safe.
And you just found your 2 hosts for it.
What?
They just found a host.
I really love, like, DMX hearing that he was battling Snoop Dogg was maybe one of my favorite battles hearing about, because I'm so East Coast and like everyone loves Snoop. He's a household staple.
Everybody knows Snoop.
Everyone loves Snoop. There's nothing bad to say about Snoop. Blah blah blah, etc. etc. We know you're amazing, Snoop. Nothing from you, but I feel like a lot of kids today, and they don't really know about like our East Coast culture we grew up on, and Dipset and fucking G Unit and also DMX. Like I never forget the first interview DMX did. He was talking and like his voice was so different from his rap voice, and all the bitches like, y'all heard his voice? He sounds sexy. No, DMX is the shit. He had this one phase where he was just popping, and like DMX was like such a part of my childhood, because like he was like my anthem when I would do shit. Like remember when Red Lobster was like a staple, like it was like fine dining to us every day, like for black families. It was like, we going to Red Lobster, we made it, like crab legs, like oh my daddy doing it, like like that was it for us, Red Lobster. And I never forget, it was all in a fucking weight, and it was my family song. Like we'd be like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, because niggas was hungry, like niggas was hungry, and now it's like our anthem. Like anytime we go to a restaurant to this day in 2020, if there's a wait, me and my family would be like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
But that just goes.
I love that the kids can now see like what we grew up on, and see that how deep he goes, and like how talented this man is, no matter his struggles, no matter what he's been through. Like, this man has made classic fucking music for not just white people, for just the fucking the culture, the whole culture. And I love DMX. I was just so happy he got that chance to like do that in that setting with Snoop being so supportive, because a lot of people really don't know his music or his struggle or his past, and I feel like that really shed a light on it.
I feel like anybody who like
the kids, I'm saying, the kids don't know nothing about that or DMX. When they Google him, it's just negative.
That's what
now
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Now
I
they
feel like
see like what we see behind the negative.
The personality, the music, the stories, the history, what he
exactly.
meant to not
Okay,
only
I'm
New
done
York.
now.
That was a great fucking point.
That's a great point. Like, I feel like a lot of people who see DMX, the younger hip hop fans, only time you hear about DMX is always going back to jail, always going to rehab, all that stuff. Like, the reason why we care is because at one point he was literally the biggest rapper on earth. Like, was it no? In a time where it was probably the most competitive ever, like when Jay-Z's dropping albums, when the Fugees are dropping albums, Murder Inc., LL, like Snoop, No Limit, Bad Boy, he was bigger than all of them at one point, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, like he's been through a lot of shit, and it's good to see him healthy. It's good to see him with a gut.
That's the thing. Like, I think, you know, Snoop. I don't know if like Snoop really had like a down moment in his career, like X did, or like had that moment where he had to climb back up. Yeah. Snoop has always been, you know, he teetered that line. He had the murder case when he first came out.
When he first jumped off.
DMX has always had repeated issues, whether it be, you know, with his, you know, his wives or his baby mothers, or it be taxes, or it be fucking drugs, or it be, you know, just rehab. There was always something holding him down, and we kind of just like forgot about this nigga was killing it for like 3 or 4 years straight. Like, you couldn't go to no sporting event, you couldn't hear a movie without hearing his fucking record. Like, so that's why it's so. Romeo must die. Like, you know. So like, to see him go through all of this shit, to see him come through all this adversity, and then to 2020 on a Verzuz, on this big platform, this guy is still alive and kicking. You know what I mean? And just giving his shit.
I'm just happy to see him healthy, dancing, man. Like,
and then just two black men of that stature, just like showing each other so much love, telling each other stories. Snoop saying, yo, or you know, X saying, yo, I got the Get At Me dog from you. Yeah. That's where I got that shit. I got that shit from you. Like, those kind of fucking stories. That's why Verzuz is so fucking dope, because we never heard none of this shit before. We never knew, you know, fucking
There's something about artists on artists that we've always enjoyed as content creators and content consumers. Like, even athletes, like the most intriguing content that we always see
comes
is
from
when
them.
There's no journalists around, there's no host. It's literally just artist A, artist B that have a mutual respect for each other, that can ask each other questions and talk about stuff that.
And that's why, like, that's why the whole Lil Wayne shit is so dope, because it's like he's talking to the artists that, one, he's worked with, and two, that he's actually championed as well. Yeah. Like him talking to Dr. Dre, like, Jesus.
Yeah, like that's like, crazy.
Serious? Like Wayne and Dre. That's why. So yeah, the artist to artist, A to B. Those, we can't get that kind of conversation out of these people. No, we can't. Those are questions that we, one, don't have privilege of asking, or two, don't know how to ask that question.
I feel like Verzuz is like, they're at a point right now where like the Apple deal signed, and like now it's like not just this like word of mouth thing that was happening on Instagram. Like, I feel like it's starting to evolve, and with the Apple TV deal, they've kind of like graduated from just quarantine content, right? Like now it's like, okay, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna be in the same place. It'll be this, that, and the third. Now it's like, well, what's next after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we talked about, we gave him the free idea of the drive-in concerts.
And me and Cass can host
so
it.
Please, we'll host.
We'll be here. Y'all know how to get, hey, Larry Jackson, you know how to get in contact with me.
But yeah, like, it's now I'm starting to see like what's gonna be the next thing with them, man. Like, is it gonna be like some sort of content creating or Q&A sort of thing?
I don't think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to even go that route. I think what they have is brilliant in itself. It doesn't need an extension of, you know, behind the scenes or a TV show. No, we just want to see our favorite artists go head to head, talk about the history, talk about the inspiration, and see the banter between them. And that's it. It's a nice hour and a half, 2 hour set. Yeah. That's all we need. We don't need it to be, you know, in the Super Bowl. We don't
Yeah.
need it to be over here.
Yeah.
We need it to this is for us.
The charm of it is that it feels like
It's ours.
It's a concert being thrown for you,
Right.
Like in your phone or in your house. Like when I throw that shit on in the house and put on the big speakers and
Bro,
like,
I feel like I'm at the Garden sometimes.
yeah,
I feel like
it's
I'm
like
at
there's
fucking
no
the
crowd. It's
festival.
just those two and whoever's in your house, and it feels so personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what clicked about it. That's what always clicks about like really good content. Like if you make it feel grand but personal at the same time, you got like a massive hit.
And I honestly like they can do it with so many different artists and producers. Like they're just touching like
They're
just
just
the
scratching
ice-
the
they're just
surface.
scratching the surface.
You can do it with groups,
Leave
you
it,
can do it with
yeah.
record labels,
Right,
you can
leave
do
it,
it.
leave it right here where it is. This is perfect where it is. This was fun. This is still fun. Don't water it down. Don't corporate it up. This is what we needed. We need to see the artist interaction. We need to see how much these guys and girls mean to each other. Erica and Jill, just watching that conversation. You know what I mean? Like hearing those stories. Babyface and Teddy Riley. Nigga.
Yeah.
You know how much a ticket like that would cost?
That was my favorite one.
So it's like, nah, leave it here. This is perfect. This is what we've been waiting for. We need this, especially it's a distraction.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, so please just leave it where it is.
Needed.
Leave it where it
What else we got, Jake?
From the battle of two legends to another, we got Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones
Mike
Jr.
Tyson.
Where did that come from?
September 12th.
September 12th. Where they fighting at? Vegas? It's
Really
really happening. Have you
Really
seen these
happening.
Mike Tyson videos?
It's
Where they
those are
fighting at?
crazy. They're fighting in Carson, California at Dignity Health Sports Park.
That's
So it's outdoors.
I believe so. Let me
Yo.
double check.
Christ.
What,
Let me tell you something.
54 years old.
I don't know what you could pay me. I don't know what Roy Jones Jr. is getting paid. But I would never, in a million years, get in the ring with Mike Tyson.
I would never wish getting hit by Mike Tyson with my worst enemy.
Here's the thing. I don't even.
Guys, he's like 95.
First
He's
off,
54.
yeah,
And that nigga moves like a tiger.
If you've seen this man lately,
Yeah, have you seen the
Look at
videos?
that video. Guys, don't let it fool you.
don't let it fool
Fool
you.
you?
I felt those punches. What are you
Alright,
talking
Dad.
about?
Alright, you got it. Get out, Dad.
Listen, it's outside. Jake is
Oh, my
outside.
God.
Jake said the fight's outside.
Yeah.
Fights
The
outside.
sun's gonna get to him. He's gonna get that old man.
It's
He's
a-
gonna get that heat stroke. He's gonna like,
Jazz.
come on, like this man
Jazz,
is like 95.
bro, Jazz.
He's like hitting,
Listen,
it's
Jazz.
like dust. When he hits stuff, it's dust
The
coming out
one
of his
thing,
blood.
the what you know what?
Oh, so you gonna take a punch?
I mean, he wouldn't hit women.
Well,
Well, I don't know.
well, I don't know. I'm not touching that one.
Nah, definitely not touching that shit.
Tyson.
You might, man, edit that shit
Yeah,
out.
anyway, so man, what really gets me about why I would never fight Mike Tyson though, is like hearing him talk about how much he misses killing people. There's a video where Mike Tyson is literally in tears talking about how much he misses being the most scariest man on the planet. Like,
Bro,
he's like, "Yo, I
you
used to-
can't
like, I
sit
used to
here
kill
and-
these motherfuckers, man.
You can't convince me. You can't convince me and sit here and say, yo, how much would you take for a Mike Tyson punch? This nigga bit a man's ear off. Like,
not
not
even
like,
the
like,
worst.
he didn't paralyze anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't like stunt, like he bit
it
human flesh.
off. Like the
And then,
ear was
and then
gone.
continued on as if nothing happened. Like, you know, like the psyche of a man that thinks like that, and you're telling me how much would you take to get in the ring to get hit by?
It's so funny, man. Like, I feel like we keep talking about people that we really
Hit me with a Mack truck
y'all
before
don't
you
really
hit me by Mike Tyson.
understand how bad of a boy Mike Tyson was. It's kind of like we were talking about with DMX. Y'all really don't understand. At one point,
That nigga was
Mike Tyson
bad.
was the scariest man on the planet, and like half of the population got their Mike Tyson introduction from The Hangover. Got their Mike Tyson introduction from being like, you know what I mean? Like, he used to be a boxer. Like, even in my, like, I wasn't around for George Foreman, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember like George Foreman's prime. Like, I just saw the Rumble in the Jungle like as an adult. So like my initial thoughts of George Foreman is, that's the guy with the grills. You know what I mean? That's the guy who does the Foreman grills. Okay.
so fucked
Smiling with the apron on, like, we gotta go to knock out that grease, and you know what I'm saying? And then
I'm not.
it's
so.
he's the Tyson of my day. Cause like
The nigga with the grill.
he's the dude with He stole a lot of them grills.
No, I got you.
Every single college student out there that's
we all had
Foreman grills.
We all had them shits.
Held the hood down.
Nah, you a fool. You a fool for that.
With Foreman, like I'm aware that he was a championship boxer,
right.
but did I get the George Foreman experience? No, not really. Mike Tyson, I experienced. Like, I remember when this dude was talking about, I'm gonna eat his children, I'm gonna do this,
I mean, he was halfway serious.
My defense is impregnable, my style is impetuous, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna eat his heart, I'm gonna eat it. I'm just like,
I don't know if Roy Jones Jr. got it. I don't know if Roy Jones.
What are you talking about?
Either Roy Jones need to check or that nigga got a death wish.
Y'all
I'm
must have forgot.
I don't. Yeah, we actually did, my nigga.
Y'all must have forgot. I'm the number one heavyweight, like heavyweight.
I mean, yo, coronavirus.
Y'all must have forgot.
Coronavirus got us doing some crazy shit, and I guess
That's
Roy
like
Jones trying to get out the crib, and I guess that was the best way for him to get outside.
That's the old head verses though, right? Roy
Yeah,
Jones,
yeah. But I'm gonna watch it though. Nigga, I'm watching that shit.
That fight is gonna break records.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I want to know what
They're
that
gonna
bag
break
is like
records.
though.
The best.
That bag gotta be crazy.
Stupid. Mike Tyson, in his prime, was already one of the most bankable boxers of all time, right? Now he's more famous. Now he's calmed down a little bit. Now he's become like this sort of kindler, gentler. Like we took like 15 years to kind of like become like, oh, Mike Tyson, the celebrity. He did like Broadway. He wrote books. Like he was acting. Like
nigga got a podcast now.
Got podcasts. Telling these stories and like you get inside the mind of this dude and what it takes to be built like that. Like I always watch these UFC fights. And granted, boxing isn't as savage as mixed martial arts is and UFC is. No. But if you've ever met one of these dudes, Jake, you've met a bunch of them. We've worked with them a bunch of times for Modelo. These dudes are just built different. And hearing the psyche of people who fight to live is a different type of dude. And Mike Tyson wasn't a dude who was fighting to be a boxer. He came up fighting to live.
And that's the thing, like that's a different mindset. When you're fighting, you know, it's literally survival of the fittest. Like when you're fighting to survive, like to breathe more air or live another day, your capability of understanding human emotion is just like removed. Like so he's not thinking like, damn, I don't want to hurt this person or whatever. Like nigga, if you're in my way, I have to get you. I have to get you out of the way.
Do you guys really feel at half a century years old?
No, I don't.
These
I'm saying
men
like
are half a century. Okay?
Yes, they're built like this. This is their DNA. Like you can't change them.
The psyche don't have. They're done with boxing or retire, right? They're old men who have grandchildren.
No. We're not talking about now. We're talking about like when they were coming.
Oh, when they were coming.
Yeah, like who they were.
Okay, sorry, I was in the bathroom. I just
No, it's all good, man.
We're talking about who they were in their.
Some men are gonna start.
No, not now. No, not now.
You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be a double knockout like Rocky 2. You're gonna see dust flying.
Yo, you not gonna. You gonna put some respect. Put some respect on like my nigga.
She is the biggest hater.
Put some respect on Tyson.
Yo.
50 plus. Don't box.
Jazz, you ain't gonna watch the fight? You ain't gonna watch it?
You know I'm gonna watch it.
All right then.
Nigga, we gonna have
just
a
hating to hate.
We gonna have a feast.
Hating is a sport for Jazz, bro. She's like, how can I figure out to hate on a way to hit on this?
Keeping it real.
It's not keeping it real.
You're the only one with that opinion.
It's keeping it real.
How's that keeping it real?
Trust me.
Nigga, shut up.
Haters.
This is why this is called the man cave. This is exact reason right here.
Who makes the man cave? Who decorates it? Probably the woman behind
Well, she decorated my
man
man cave.
Exactly. The woman always decorates the man cave.
You're not giving me any leg to stand on,
nice,
bro. It's nice. Like, really?
Bring the little pictures and
See,
stuff.
you want to eat dinner tonight?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm just kidding.
Really? On camera, bro?
Awesome.
Listen, happy wife, happy life, bro. I don't love the game.
Like, I would
You
never.
gonna learn soon, bro.
Okay.
I ain't putting off for no cameras. I'm with it. This is what it is, yo. She says I'm like that. I got it.
That is very
Wait, cut all that out, Jake.
Nah, we good.
Nigga, please, we leaving all that shit in.
Yeah, listen. I ain't gonna come here in front for the people. Y'all know who it is. If y'all know me, y'all know Jasmine and shit. She says, I'm cooking. All right, what we eating, baby? We good? None? You don't like all it. You don't like the attention on you now, huh? You don't like it when we turn the chairs this way. Yeah, you on the hot seat. She just wants to chirp in.
I did.
This nigga.
Anyway, Tyson, I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna be.
It's gonna be fun. That's gonna
It's
be
a
fun.
spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what boxing is. That's
Make
what.
sure you tell
That's
your
what.
grandmas and your grandmas.
That's what boxing is for. I feel like there's only a handful of people in the world who even sells boxing fights. It's
Right.
like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder,
What's that? The Irish motherfucker.
Conor McGregor. But
Yeah.
he's UFC.
Oh, he's UFC now.
But he fought Mayweather, and he's box office.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson before Floyd. I don't know the numbers, but I feel like Mike Tyson was one of the most bankable dudes when it came to pay-per-view buys.
That nigga, yeah.
Wherever the hell, whatever streaming service gets this, because I don't think if I'm Tyson or whoever's handling him, I don't do the pay-per-view
Triller.
thing. Oh, it's gonna be on Triller.
Triller.
Really? The app?
The app?
Yep. If you guys know about it, yeah. I'm not
No
too
shit.
I'm not too
Triller's gonna do this?
They're
Oh.
they're also doing a 10-part documentary leading into it.
That
Oh.
is really interesting.
Nah,
That's
you got
really
This got to be
interesting.
a clip. Like, we said, Triller?
Yeah, well, because I look at Triller, I feel like Triller was like the old TikTok, right? Like,
Yeah, that's how I thought.
Triller was like, you know what I mean, the video disc before the DVD.
Yeah, that's how I look at Triller. I didn't know Triller was like in it like that.
I didn't know. They must have some money to burn.
Let
And
me
good for them though, because
let me
TikTok got
sign
them outta
up.
here.
Let me sign up tonight. Fuck that.
Good for Triller, man, because they had like they had the music app thing.
That was it. That was
down
them.
for a minute, and then TikTok,
TikTok
came
came in
through
and was
and
just like, boom. Thought you
crushed the building.
Nigga,
They're like, we
thought
gotta
you
do
had
something
it.
else. Let's give Mike Tyson his money. Sounds good.
What else we got, Jake?
What else we got? We got, I know everybody's favorite topic,
Oh, here we go.
Kanye West.
Kanye West, boy, where do we start?
Let's keep it high level.
Keeping a high level.
You know, like I always said, there was always something that he was promoting. There was always
Yeah.
something that he was ready to release.
Yeah.
And just so happens is the Donda album that did not come out last Friday. Not that I was checking for it.
I wasn't even. I forgot that was supposed to drop.
Nah, yeah, he
That's
announced it, and then you know, the tweets happened. I just
Not
I
even
don't
gonna talk
I don't-
about the tweets.
I don't know.
You
what,
know where I want to take it?
I think you guys should.
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about what Kanye's doing with the votes or whatever. And still,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about none of that. What I want to talk about, like when I posted the clip on my Instagram, right? Kanye has a way of drawing so much emotion from so much people, from different people of different walks of life. For some reason, even out of me, like I don't give a fuck about that artist's lives that much. You know what I mean? The Gemini. Like I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I feel like Kanye, for some reason, for a lot of people, for as many fucked up things he may say or do,
Right.
we're in a very different state in 2020 where we're still very mindful of mental health.
Right.
And we're very mindful that, you know, a lot of times the way these people are acting out, it's not that because they're this, it's that these people are sick.
Right.
And, you know, like they have, it's a weird and violent concoction when the person's sick but famous, and the way he got famous was being unhinged a little
Right,
bit,
right,
like
right,
not necessarily playing by the rules, saying what's supposed to be said,
Right.
like little social cues that like most people tend to have that he doesn't have.
Right.
Like we all know that guy. Like we all have that friend that's very Kanye-ish. That's very like, all right, bro, like you can't say that, or oh wow, like, you know, pick up on certain social cues that like most normal people would definitely have.
I was literally
But-
just had to look right over, looked right over there.
Yeah, that's the life.
That's Jeff.
But
I'm trying to be better.
You're doing fine.
you're great,
Gosh.
baby. You're doing
The
fantastic.
world is so sensitive.
Okay, all right.
There we
Pick up on the
go.
social cue.
There we go. There we go.
Sensitive.
Anyway, why is it that Kanye draws such an emotion out of people? Like the fact that people have to go out of their way to say, don't pay this guy any attention because he has such a control on the narrative and the audience of people.
The honest thing with me, Kaz, is like you're playing with fire, right? So, you know, you may be sick and you may have, you know, your disorder and you may be going through a lot of things and the spotlight is heavy. It gets really, really, you know, makes you be impulsive. But you're
Right.
playing with fire when you're talking about, you know, when you're talking about politics,
Right.
right? When you're talking about, you know, family, when you bring family into it, like that's very like polarizing. And I understand that, you know, you have this mindset of like, it's me against the world, but you have a family. Yeah. Like you have children who are gonna see this when they grow up. And as keen and as, you know, quick as kids are nowadays, they might be looking at this and they might hear what he's saying. They might interpret it a different way. That's why I think it draws so much emotion with a lot of people, because it's like, bro, we get it. Like, you've had a lot of shit that you've been dealing with. But when you involve other people's lives, when you talk about politics, nigga, we're not talking about just your family. We're not talking about Chicago. We're not talking about just hip hop. Now we're talking about black, brown, white, orange, purple, poor, rich, middle. Like, you talking about that type of shit. And it's not like, and you're doing it for fun.
Right.
This looks like it's being done for fun.
Well, Kanye, he's always been rewarded for his wilding outness. Right. Like, him wilding out is what made his music pop. Him wilding out and having the nerve to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go make some sneakers.
Well, I'm gonna go against the system.
I'm gonna go against the system.
I'm gonna wear polos and pink and this, that, and went against the status quo. I get that. Yeah. And it works in certain realms. Yeah. But when you talk
and the risk reward factor is way different.
When it comes
to like, oh well, maybe they may not like the song. If I start Yeezus with like,
and this is not, and like people don't get it misconstrued. This is not us saying that you shouldn't live your truth. You shouldn't speak your mind. You shouldn't be who you are or live to your fullest, potential. This is not us trying to silence him or stifle him in any way. But when it comes to everyday lives, the blue collar worker, the people who look at you as like a god or a savior, then it becomes dangerous. Yeah. And it's like, I get it. Sometimes you can control your shit, sometimes you can't. But bro, you got a family. You got people who are following in your footsteps, and you're talking about, yo, I'm gonna knock Biden off. Yeah. It's just like, dog. It's like, my dude, this is not funny no more.
You're not really factoring in how many people you can affect, right? Like the worst that could happen if you fucking was wrong on an album placement or a song placement or a feature is somebody doesn't like the song. Now, the worst you can be if the antics you're doing is keeping a guy in power who clearly has no regard for science when we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying. Someone who clearly has no regard for racial inequality when people are fucking dying on the streets protesting and are sending out troops to protect statues that uphold these symbols of white supremacy instead of getting to the root of why people are protesting in the first place, which is police reform and being like, hey, if you kill a guy on a job, maybe you should like not have the job or at least go to jail. You know what I mean?
Basic humanity 101. Like, it's very simple.
Yeah,
it's
like
literally very simple.
At the very fucking core of Trump, like no matter everyone, there's always gonna be that one person like, well, actually, the economy's not that bad in the Trump. Like, feel how you feel. At the end of the day, I'm not comfortable with a guy who's just at his core not a decent human fucking being. Like I could
like politics like, removed.
Like politicians are scumbags all of them. All of them are scumbags. A good amount of them are fucking scumbags. But this dude is such a just disgusting, just downtrodden, just everything
he's a vile human being.
The fact that he even has held the seat of presidency this long, as shitty of a person he is, has brought down the actual value of being president of the United States, where at one point, if you were the president, you were the leader of the free world. It's like when
you were reveled as a person that they are the person of this country. They represent the decency.
People would look at you
as you are untouchable. You are Superman. Yeah. We look at that White House as a fucking joke.
It's a joke now.
And
it happened in record time.
It happened in under fucking 4 years. Yeah. And I never thought I would look at the White House and be like, man, fuck that place. Yeah. I always would, when I would be in DC and walk past the White House or, see it, I'm like, oh my God, like that's the White House. Now I look at it, I'm like, I suck my teeth at it.
Yeah.
And now here we have, to circle back, Kanye thinking that this is fun and games, bro. Like niggas have died that job. Niggas have got assassinated. Like this is a different level.
This is life or death. It's literal. Like it's not play when they say like, yo, this election is literally life and death. Because people are currently dying over something that it was very preventable. Right. And it's not like we're just guessing. Like we're looking at other countries getting back to normal, living their lives. New Zealand, no cases. South Korea, damn near no cases.
And now China, they have sporting events. Now they're back to normal. But America, because of this land was built on privilege to begin with, has still carried that fucking notion. I can do what I want. This is the land of the free. You can't silence me. This, that, and the third. Some things just don't need to be that difficult. Yeah. And America makes things very fucking difficult. And we're witnessing this shit in the fucking flesh.
In a different world, I'd be like, you know what? This is fun. But we as a society, we're smart enough to know we probably shouldn't have Kanye fucking West running the world, right? Let's laugh at this and then move on to other things.
We've already been ranked in this past week. We're America's second to last worst country to raise a family in. And you know what the last country that's the worst to raise a family in is Mexico because of the drug cartels and all the killings and murders that go on with tourists and people in their own state. So to be above Mexico and the cartel is really sad for Americans. It's fucking sad.
It makes me like
it's horrible.
Well, it's the land of the free, the American dream. Like, there's nothing dreamy about this country. Yes, granted, I can go down the street, wear what I want, do what I want, whatever the case is. That only goes so far.
But you can change.
That only goes so far.
Like, you can change. Like, you can. There was always my train of thought where it's like, even before when Trump started announcing he was running for president, I was like, there's not that many dumb motherfuckers in here to really vote for him.
You'd be surprised,
but
my nigga.
Yes, there is. And the same people that are saying like, well, there's not that many dumb people to take Kanye West seriously to come in.
You'd be surprised.
There is.
You guys said the same thing about Trump. How many years
exactly. And it's,
Anyway,
I don't want to talk about it no more.
Anyway, you know, just to this whole Kanye shit, I hope he gets the help because I really don't know what the fuck is going on with this nigga right now. I have no idea.
Or we as a people, which is the harder thing to do, is give him no attention. Exactly. We can't help ourselves as Americans. We can't help ourselves as people who love car wrecks and celebrity culture and fashion and cool shit. It's a cornucopia of fucking shit that we just can't take away from each other.
So what I suggest...
It's one thing to say, I hope he gets the help he deserves, yada, yada, yada. That would be the easy thing. The hard thing to do is for us to look at ourselves and like, why does this motherfucker even have power to begin with?
So so then I'll say this. So what I suggest that this will be the last time we ever talk about Kanye West on this platform.
So what do we got, Jake?
College dropout giving me tears. If it's not that, I don't want to fucking.
So yes, this will be the last.
This will be the last time we talk
that
anything.
Me and Kaz talk about anything Kanye West because obviously to this point we're giving him attention, a platform. He needs help, and that'll be my last word on that.
Dave Chappelle, go to Africa for like 5 years.
We gotta, if we're gonna preach that, we gotta act.
That's what we preach. Jake, what we got?
So it stops here.
I think that's about it. We got a couple sports topics we could touch if we want.
We can blast through them real quick.
All right, we got
quick hits.
Quick hits. We got the Jets trading Jamal Adams to the Seahawks for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Bradley McDougall.
Really like that trade for the Jets. Jamal Adams was extremely disgruntled. He did not want to be a New York Jet. He was the best player. He is the best player on the team. Hope he might be granted how Russell Wilson's year goes next year for Seattle, he might be the best player on Seattle as well. Jamal Adams is extremely talented. That being said, when you have talented players that don't want to be on your team anymore, you don't do what the Knicks did and give them away for fucking peanuts and potato chips. You get first-round picks. You get a player who can play right now. You get future picks. I think the Jets made off with a great haul. They made Jamal Adams happy. They brought him to a very successful franchise in Seattle. Good for him.
I love watching Kaz talk about the Knicks. It's just like the funniest.
Like, bro, you should see him at home.
It's the funny. Oh my god, Jazz.
He's so hopeful. It's like a puppy that you rescue from the pound that is hopeful with new owners, but they're still scarred.
It's the funniest thing.
I'm a battered wife when it comes.
Well, I mean, I'm the same way with the Giants, but for some reason, like it just comes flowing.
But you've had 2 parades. You've gotten 2 parades. I'm not even a Giants fan like that, but I'm a root for New York sports, so I like. You know, I got like a drive-by parade. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll celebrate with the
watching
Giants.
you,
But,
Della,
like
y'all niggas fucking go through that. Shout out to my nigga Della, because
They did make a good hire, though.
Yes. Della is a fucking diehard Knicks fan.
They did make a good hire, though.
Yeah, they
hired Tom Thibodeau to be the new head coach.
You guys are so hopeful for these little things they do, like it's gonna matter.
Jazz! Leave my Knicks alone. Leave my Knicks alone, man. Damn.
They hired.
Right. It was like they did do a good thing. I'm like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Yo, I'm sorry.
Tom Thibodeau is a very
sorry.
good coach. Listen, the Knicks, I will say this. I will say this.
Go ahead, Kev.
The Knicks have a whole lot to prove when it comes to what's going on with their franchise, but they have made some moves this offseason that aren't bad as far as front office, getting basketball people in the building and not just people and agents. Oh my God!
I'm sorry. But this is what you do. Like, you brought me here. Like, this now.
Listen,
Start doing this shit.
I can't mention that Tom Thibodeau is a very good head coach.
No, we're not. No,
and
we're not saying that. You have every right.
You know what it is? It's like when a girlfriend or a dude comes to you and like tries to sell his girl. He knows it's ugly as hell. Like,
Oh my God!
It's
Yo.
like, yo,
I know the Knicks suck. I know the
It's
Knicks suck, yo. Like, what am I supposed to say?
If that's not the best description.
It's like, dude, she got the best personality. Her family's great. Her mom loves me. She cooks so good. Her mac and cheese, her barbecue chicken is great.
Bro.
It's like you're trying to sell us on this horrible
Yo,
But I'm well aware how terrible the Knicks are.
I'm sorry,
well
bro,
aware
I'm
how
sorry, I'm
awful
sorry,
they
I'm
are.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not nothing new. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Bandwagon? You want me to go be a Laker fan? Be a LeBron fan? Like all these
I love
fake NBA fans that be
I love
always
you.
out
No,
there?
I love you.
And
Okay.
they follow where
All
LeBron
right.
goes? Or be a Clippers fan all of a sudden? Like people grew up Clippers fans?
I love
Motherfuckers lying,
I love your dedication. I love your dedication, and your loyalty is admirable.
Loyalty should be rewarded.
It is-
Not
listen.
one Knicks championship that will come in my lifetime will be worth 10 championships to people because I'm loyal. Damn it.
Anytime something, no matter what it could be, any little minuscule thing that happens in it, you are like selling it like it's fucking hotcakes, like it's Twinkies.
Listen,
fresh
man,
out
root
the
for your
market,
team. Root for your
We
team.
know,
brother.
no
Root for your
one
team.
cares. Okay, the Knicks are horrible.
Root-
No one
stay
cares
loyal.
about
Stay
Tom
loyal.
Thibodeau, whatever fucking
What
thing
you got? What you got,
What
Jake?
Bull.
Bo
beat
Ballin had second really good game last night.
Was that the tall?
Manute Bol's son.
Oh, the tall.
7'2".
Then he blocked JJ Redick shot or
Like
something.
JJ Redick shot, blocked a lot of shots.
You got a handle too.
Dude got handle. Dude is like a creative player. 7'3", shoots from deep, blocks shots, gets a rebound, dunks on people. Like,
Second
I'm a
round pick.
fan. And the Nuggets are a dangerous team. Like,
Michael Porter.
they could. It would be the most 2020 thing if the Denver Nuggets win the NBA title. Like
Bro.
Nikola
They
Jokic,
could.
bad boy.
If
Jamal
I
Murray,
see
bad
the
boy.
fucking Nuggets anywhere close to a fucking championship,
Listen,
I'm not watching it.
It's not outside the realm of possibility.
True.
If Bol is continuing to do ain't no.
But this is why I said this is the easiest road to the fucking championship.
It is.
That's exactly why I said. So please, take this serious. Stay out the fucking strip club and get a fucking championship ring.
Bol is like, it's not a fluke neither, man. I've seen Bol since high school.
Yeah.
I see him in Oregon cooking, and then he got hurt. You know what I mean?
His name is Bol.
Bol. B-O-L. Like, Bol. Don't hate. Don't hate.
It's funny.
NBA royalty, man. Manute
All
Bol's
right,
son.
okay, this is why I shouldn't be on the show.
Legend.
Okay,
Anyway,
this is your okay.
not mad at it, man.
Bol.
I like Bol. I don't know how.
To your respect, I thought it was funny too. When
I don't know why he fell to the 44th pick. I'm giving the young man shouts out. What is he, 19, 20 years old? He's a baby. You know what I mean? Out here dogging. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how the Nuggets look, but he's looked the part so far. What else we got?
That's it for today, boys. You got
All right.
anything to plug?
Man, I don't think we got much to plug this week.
Shout out to Truly.
Shout out Truly like we do every single week for holding the podcast down. And
Shout out to Tish.
Shout out to Tish, our guest, man. She was
Shout out to
great.
Tish, that was
Make sure
here.
you follow her on Instagram. That's Tisha Alyn. That's TishaAlynn on IG.
I already followed you, Tish. Girl, I'm
There you go. Go ahead.
Wait, do we have a camera on Jazz?
Yeah,
We don't
there
need a
was.
camera on
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
We can hear you, Jazz. You got the
I'm
mic
silently
posted.
here. I'm the ghost in the
Oh,
wind.
niggas gonna hate.
Casper.
Niggas gonna love this shit this
I'm
week.
Casper, honey.
Anyway, we're gonna have lots more guests coming through.
Yeah.
Say Less podcast. Shout out to my guy Vic, Lions Den, Cliffside.
How am I doing so far?
Low, I think you're doing great.
I'm
I
good?
think you're doing good. I think
Look,
this
I
is.
think you're immaculate.
I think you're
you.
a natural. Bro.
Okay,
You're
all right,
natural. I love
Sometimes I need a pat on the
it.
back.
Shout out my guy Matt. Shout out Jake behind the boards.
Men just need their
Jazz, we're wrapping up, bro. We're about to go on your man tirade. God damn it.
Yeah, I want mint hookah when I get home. I want mint hookah when we get home.
Woman! Anyway, shout out to our guest, Tish. We back later this week for another episode of Say Less. Shout out to Whistle Sports,
Yeah.
Brother HQ, always holding it down. Make sure you check out the best of Say Less with Kaz on Whistle Sports and Brother each and every Friday on
Yeah.
our YouTube page. It's been popping. If you like the interviews, go back and check out past interviews with Booker T,
Yeah.
Andrew Hawkins, Shanae Gumike, Baron Davis. We got Jock Slade this week. Lots of Paul Wall.
Corey Jacobs.
Shout out Paul Wall. He was trending this week. So go check out that interview as well because he had the best verse on Still Tipping. We talked about that as well. But like we always do at this time, man, thank you for tuning in. Like we always say, stay free, stay safe, and always say less. My name is Kaz. That's Low. That's Jazz. That's Jeff. That's Matt. Peace.